Hello, my friends. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. Daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports Studio. Impact Power Sports. You can find them online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Thank you to them. If you're in the market for a Yamaha golf cart tricked out to your liking, customized, or just buy it off the floor, it's up to you. You can get it at Impact Power Sports. And or maybe a side-by-side, ATV, UTV, motorcycle. I saw a lot of these off-road vehicles over the weekend. And you can pick these up at Impact Power Sports. My time away at Fear Bunker North was exactly what I thought it was going to be. First of all, I was not injured. I experienced no injuries whatsoever. Numerous moments, though, where my dogs were freaked out, specifically O'Neill, because the military was conducting, I don't know what the fuck it was, bombing, or they have these big things. I think it's called a howitzer, which is the long-ass style gun you'd find on the top of a tank. And it might have been a tank, I don't know, or a howitzer gun like on wheels. But they make a hell of a lot of noise when they fire. And they would shoot, and it was so close to us that you could feel it. That's how close it was. It's probably maybe a half mile away is the artillery range. So they shoot it, and then you can hear it go off, obviously. And then if you listen carefully enough, after about 20, 30 seconds of the shell flying, it lands in the target area, which is another bombing area. And you can hear it go much more dull of a sound because it's far away, but it's so cool. You're whammo! And then you can almost like just wait. And if they fire off several, like whammo, whammo, boom, boom, boom. And then off in the distance, you'll hear doo, doo, doo. So cool. And then the A-10s, the A-10 Thunderbolt 2s, the Warthogs were in the sky. Now, they didn't shoot up Range 40, which is literally right next door to where I live. Like if you were to look up Range 40, Grayling, Michigan, you can see it on the map. There's Range 40 and there's Range 44. And that's interesting because there's not a 41, 42, and 43. It's just Range 40 and Range 44. Now, the Warthogs are going to bomb and shoot the Gatling gun, which is... That's how it sounds. You know, this big-ass Gatling gun. It's about this big around. It's on the nose of the aircraft. And the rounds are each about this big, about, 8 inches across, maybe more. And as big around as a piece of sidewalk chalk. They fire the Gatling gun, and it puts out about 25, 30 rounds in about a second and a half. So you hear... And they can't shoot it too much because it'll overheat the gun. It's so powerful that if they're flying at this piece of machinery, this Warthog, they use these, and they have for decades. I think they're getting ready to phase them out, but they're used for close air support. So if the guys are on the ground and there's tanks or artillery or infantry, the Warthog wipes them out and can take like a tremendous amount of punishment, these aircraft. It's like a tank in the sky, but yet it'll still fly 450 miles an hour. It can actually maneuver somewhat. It's not the most nimble of aircraft, but that's not the fucking point. The point is it can take, small arms fire does nothing to it. And it can handle quite a bit of punishment before they got to ditch the fucking plane. But my God, was that incredible. Badger says super hydraulic system. I don't know what that means. I think that means that they can fly it with like hydraulics only if they needed to. They don't even need any goddamn computers. Bob says if they don't fire in bursts, like, and then they let it rip, it'll stall the plane. Yeah, I was reading about that if the plane's flying along, the power of the gun slows the plane down enough that could happen. So if you let it fly like that, it's all of a sudden the plane's like, fuck this. We don't have enough power. Nick says, I love the videos of the A-10s shredding up ISIS pickup trucks. Oh, it's devastating. And then they also are loaded with missiles and bombs. This aircraft can fuck you up multiple ways. So they're testing the accuracy of the Gatling gun and dropping bombs, and you can hear them blowing up on range 44. And there's Pooh Bear and I and the dogs, and O'Neill's like, oh, I'm scared. I'll protect you. And I've got a video that I should probably send to myself to get, now that I'm talking about this. I didn't even write this down as something that I was going to talk about today, but now that I have, I should probably send myself the video so that we can watch it together of the artillery, the bombing that goes off. Unless I deleted it. I don't even see the fucking thing. Okay. So much fun. It was a great, great time away. Needed that 100%. I will send this to myself, and then we'll go from there. What a time away, except that everybody was dying. There was a whole bunch of people that were dying. And let me just say that when I heard that Hulk Hogan died, I didn't know how to feel about that. I knew he had done something horrible, but I couldn't remember what. I just know that Hogan had been going around selling real American beer. This is like prior to the announcement of his death. This is what I would have told you about Hulk Hogan. Pro wrestler, once biggest name in the world, easily, especially in the pro wrestling world. And then there was the incident that happened where there was a radio guy named Bubba the Love Sponge, and he's still a radio guy. I think he does similar to what I do, but on a larger scale. He's pretty popular. Bubba was pals with Hogan, and Bubba said to Hogan, "Do you want to have sex with my wife?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, brother." And so, some people are into that. And then Hogan had sex with Bubba's wife, and then Hogan didn't know it, but they were shooting video of it. I mean, what a thing for your friend to do, you know? I mean, whatever. If somebody's got a little bit freaky like that, and they hey, you want to have sex with my wife? I mean, that's not really in my wheelhouse or something I'd be interested in. Having sex with someone else's wife, that's pretty gross. But she was pretty cute, you know. I think she's a little bit ran through, but that doesn't really stop Hogan. So, oh, that's right, brother. I'm gonna have sex with your wife, and they shoot video of it, and then Bubba and Mrs. Bubba made that available to the site known back then as Gawker. So then Hogan finds out about that, and he sues Gawker, and he won for whatever it is you would sue somebody. I don't know if that's defamation or whatnot, but Hogan got a ton of money from Gawker, and they went out of business over that. Now, I don't blame him. I'd have done the same thing, and I would have sued Bubba too. I don't even know. Bubba, I don't think, had a whole lot. But I don't know. Maybe he did sue Bubba and whatnot. But those two ended up not being friends. Let's see. Nick says a former co-host stole that tape and took it to Gawker. Okay, that's a key thing that I'm missing out on. All right, so I got only a percentage of that story right. So Bubba did not. Bubba would use that. He had the tape, but Bubba did not, according to Nick, make it to Gawker. But anyway, I think Bubba and Hogan kind of like didn't speak because I've seen Bubba talk about this in the last week, and he regrets, I guess, them not fixing it. I don't know, whatever. The whole thing's weird. Okay, that's a weird deal. The other things I remember about Hogan. His son was involved in a horrible car accident that really injured his friend, and he's fucked up now. He might even be dead now. I don't know. And he went to jail for a period of time. I think Hogan's, I don't know. I get Hogan and Dog the Bounty Hunter mixed up. Hogan died while being married to a really hot chick who simultaneously looks like his daughter and his ex-wife. And I don't know if the ex-wife is alive or dead. And then I get that mixed up with Dog the Bounty Hunter, whose wife died. And I don't know why that popped into my brain. I think because when you're up at Fear Bunker North, you get like 4 TV stations, and one of the TV stations is just Dog the Bounty Hunter. And I had forgotten how much I enjoyed that fucking show. That's a great-ass show. Except you never see the bounty hunters fire the paintball guns. You know, when they go to apprehend the bad guy, they put on, like, tactical gear with paintball guns. Tyler says Hogan's ex is still alive. He made a video recently with his new wife making fun of his old wife. Ugh, boy. Nick says he's seen the tape of Hogan having sex. His arms aren't the only pythons on that guy. So Nick is reporting that Hulk Hogan has had a gargantuan penis. What I had forgotten about Hogan was the N-word incident. And I think one of the reasons why I'd forget about something that is pretty substantial would be because we live in a day and an age where we just bounce around from news thing to news thing, I guess. At one of his last appearances, he was booed horribly. There was an article that came out in May, right around that last appearance. Hulk Hogan continues to ignore the real reason WWE fans are booing him. Hogan says, yeah, they're still nipping at my heels. I can go out there and get booed in L.A. I was Hollywood Hogan with the black beard and doing the bad guy thing. Or The Rock can get booed in L.A. or John Cena gets booed in L.A. But when I get booed, there's a whole different reaction media-wise. So that's he's thinking that it's something else. He mentioned that it might be the political leanings. He said that might do it. But I don't think it is. In July of 2015, a leaked recording from that sex tape I was talking about earlier. As Rich says, Dog the Bounty Hunter, dead ex-wife, and likes to use the N-word just like Hogan. Yeah, that's right. Dog the Bounty Hunter had a family member, I think one of his sons, who was dating a black girl, and Dog was heard on the video saying, yeah, you can't be bringing a N-word around the office because we say that. So you dump her or you're off the show. I mean, that's actually what he said. It was horrible with a hard R. It was Really tough to listen to. In this video, Hogan expressed disgust over the possibility of his daughter dating a black man and said, "I am a racist to a point," all while freely using the N-word. I need the actual quote. Good thing I've got this thing called a cell phone to look it up. Hogan racist comment in full. Now, some people might say, well, yeah, he didn't mean it. Yeah, you just can't distance yourself from it. He ended up getting fired from WWE from that moment. As I'm scanning this, looking for why isn't it like front and center? Anyway, he said, "Yeah, I don't mind Brooke dating a N-word as long as he's like an 8-foot tall N-word who plays in the NBA and is worth $100 million." And then I think he dropped the N-word like more than one after that comment. It was all full of N-word hard R's. So there you go. WWE did away with him. But then they kind of brought him back, and I don't think that anybody was really about it. He says, he then kind of doubled down and said, well, hey, Booker T can say it. You know how people often do that? Well, yeah, but black guys say the N-word. Why can't I? And if somebody asked me that, hey, EZ, black guys, did you know black guys say the N-word? How come you can't say the N-word? My response would be, and I even thought about this when I was up at Fear Bunker North, my response would be, I don't know. And I don't want to know why that is. I don't care to know. All I can do is speculate on me and me only. When I speculate about me and me only, I'm talking factually. I'm not going to say that. All right? And you're not going to hear that word cross my lips. And I don't want to discuss it further. There is nothing to discuss. I don't give a shit who says it. But I know this. If I'm hanging out in a public space and I hear a black guy say it, I'm not going to give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to react. I might laugh because I don't know why it is, but black guys have an ability to make that word hilarious. I don't want to live in a world where black people don't say it. Okay? Because, of course, black culture being what it is, it's amazing. Black people are so fucking smooth, they can drop the N-word, and I'm just like, fuck yes, are you cool? Keep it up. You can call me it. You can call Pooh Bear it. You can call my dogs it. You can call each other it. I don't give a fuck. But the first time Northern Michigan white motherfucker drops the N-word, I'm like, oh! And then I'm like looking around, playing spot the black guy, trying to find out who's going to kick his ass. So, yeah, Hulk, there's a problem. Rich talks about the time that Hulk Hogan put the lotion on his daughter's body. That was also very weird. I remember that one. He was like rubbing her ass with lotion. Man Bun Chris is here. More about him in a minute. He says, does the NFK still use it in the frozen food aisle? We do not take the NFK shopping anymore because of that. I'll never forget when the Mugu Gai Pan was gone in the frozen food aisle. And he gave the finger to the General So and whatever other Asian foods were in there in the frozen food. He gave them all the finger and called them, the frozen food packages, the N-word. Fuck you, you fucking bleep. Hulk Hogan, this is his apology in 2015 when that old clip came out. 8 years ago, brother, I used offensive language during a conversation. It was unacceptable for me to have used that offensive language. There is no excuse for it, and I apologize for having done it. This is not who I am. I believe very strongly that every person in the world is important and should not be treated differently based on race, gender, orientation, religious beliefs, or otherwise. I am disappointed with myself that I use language that is offensive and inconsistent with my own beliefs. Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I've talked about this before. If let's say that came out about me, I'm smart enough to know that that's a point of no return. I would say the last time that I would get any attention from any audience members would be my response to that statement. So, but I don't like to think that I don't really buy the idea that an apology helps. To me, it makes it worse when you apologize. But I can't tell you that I would know exactly how like if I drop that language, I might just say, well, I am fucked. I am so fucked. And then I would talk about, yep, I said it. What an asshole. And I don't even know. I mean, if I was caught red-handed and wasn't saying it in a hilarious way, I mean, I wasn't making a joke. It would probably suit me best to say, yes, this is how I feel. And from now on, I'm going to use that word every chance I get and like actually commit to showing up at Klan rallies. That's like the only way you can ever save yourself from, to actually get anything out of life. You have to commit to being a full-on racist. And you'd have to do the show wearing a Klan robe. I would have to have a Klan hood on with headphones, talking into the microphone. I'd have to basically say, all right, if any of you want to stick around with me, even though I am a racist and I use that language, you're more than welcome to. But I am now turning my attention. I am taking the next step in my career, and I'm going to be banging on the doors of the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and all of the hard living line areas around Michigan and passing out promotional Eric Zane Klan hoods. And then I'll say, yes, I am the podcaster that I use the N-word. That's the only way that I could ever do this. Nick, yet another Nick, writes, Easy MAGA Podcast. By the way, Nick is a DJ. That's why it says DJ Plunkett. He was the DJ at Jacqueline and Justin's wedding. He's great. That's a free plug for you, buddy. Badger says you cannot ever apologize. No, you're right. You're right. I don't, that would be horrible. There is no apology. There will be no apologies. That's what you do. You could even go so far as to say, yeah, brother, I am getting ready to do an apology. And then turn on the mic and say, my apology is, I'm sorry if you were offended. As soon as you drop, I'm sorry you were offended, that's as bad as saying the N-word all over again. I'm of the opinion that you get out of the habit of ever saying sorry. Don't say sorry. So he died, and I don't think he's getting over. He's not getting a bump in popularity. It's actually gotten worse. Like, people are really dancing on Hogan's grave. I don't have an opinion one way or the other. I don't give a shit. I can see why everybody would hate him. But I like how they it seems like nobody forgot. Man Bun Chris says, and Castellanos has homered, and I'd like to take this time to apologize to the people who signed my checks. That's right. I forgot that guy's name. Tom Brenneman? Is that his name? Just prior to that, Ozzy Osbourne died. I had forgotten how much I enjoyed that show, The Osbournes. When that show hit, that was required viewing. Elton John said it best, in my opinion, because they were pretty close pals. That's kind of like an odd couple there. But there's pictures of them together. They're both from the UK. And Elton John said not only was he the Prince of Darkness, but he was the Clown Prince. Like, it didn't take much of Ozzy to do anything to get a laugh. I don't want to play any of the clips because I think I'll get some type of, like, Twitch ticket. But all you got to do is look up the Osbournes highlights. A couple clips that come to mind was when Sharon gave him a goddamn breath strip. Those products were pretty new to the market back in the early 2000s. Those Listerine breath strips. She goes, here, put this on your tongue. And he's confused. You know, he always had that I'm fucking confused look. Now, he was younger than I am now when that show was out. He was in his early 50s, but he seemed like he was about 75 then. Tophus says, easy, you won't get a Twitch ticket. That's pretty much music. All right, I'll play it.
No, sir. What is it?
Hang on a second here.
No, sir. What is it?
So Ozzy and Sharon are there doing their thing on the show. She wants him to try the breath strip. There you go.
I don't want to taste it.
Yes, you do.
What is it?
Taste it.
What is it? Cyanide?
No, taste it.
What
It's gum. It's a new gum.
He goes, is it cyanide?
You're winding me up.
No, taste it.
It's a fucking stamp. Nothing there.
Do you like it?
Fucking crap, it disappeared.
It's just meant to freshen your mouth.
It's not gum, then you lied to me.
Well, I wanted you to try it.
Fucking horrible.
I don't like it.
Oh, thanks a lot, you cunt.
Thanks a lot, you cunt. You're winding
Taste
me
it.
up.
What is it? Cyanide?
No, taste it.
What?
Gum. It's a new gum.
You're winding me up.
No, taste it.
It's a fucking stamp. Nothing there.
Do you like it?
Fucking crap, it disappeared.
It's just meant to freshen your mouth.
It's not gum, then you lied to me.
Well, I wanted you to try it.
Fucking horrible.
I don't like it.
Oh, thanks a lot, you cunt.
Ozzy was just funny being Ozzy. All right, Ozzy Osbourne and the Cat. Him and the Cat used to go round and round and round. Okay, here the cat is getting lost in the house.
Don't scream! Please don't scream!
You're screaming.
Is it behind the mirror?
Yeah, it's
on top.
Oh, but look, Dad, please don't push the mirror. Because look at it. Look at the mirror.
I know, I'm not. I just calm fucking down, man.
Oh, Daddy, please.
But how the fuck am I gonna get it? You're gonna come up my hand a bit.
No, we've got a tickling stick. That's an antique.
Be careful. It's my computer.
Step on it.
No, my end. No, it's a horrible idea.
If you're the camera, like,
I don't like this at all.
you get the goddamn cat off the top of the mirror.
Smacking him in the head.
Ozzy, Dad! It's an attack movement. Ozzy, no! Stop it!
Shut the fuck up!
Get down, I beg you.
Squeeze out of it. Squeeze out of it. I'll scare him.
What am I squeezing a
Dad,
fucking
please
dude
get
for?
down.
Oh, it's gonna fucking get you.
It's gonna kill you. Dad, please.
It's ruthless.
Hit it with this.
Don't you dare. Oh, no. No.
Oh,
Come on, what's up? Open
Just get down.
Whoa.
Oh, the fuck.
It's on the ground. Help me. It's not? Where is it?
My antique.
People, this dysfunctional bunch. Megan says, why can't the cat just get down when it wants to? Well, they're idiots. The Osbournes are absolute idiots. Rebecca says, agreed, that show was good in such a dysfunctional way. To see somebody like Ozzy in that light where, I mean, all you heard Ozzy ever was in news clips and performing and on album releases. That was that show was a first and probably a last. It kind of broke the mold. Various comments from a super sensitive audience. Maureen says Sharon looks like a corpse now. Yeah, she looks pretty fucked up. Nick says, I was reviewing the Ozzy music catalog. I cannot think of another artist responsible for more absolute banger hits. Some of the greatest songs in history, without a doubt. I was going back to the Black Sabbath days, and some of those. I really like that kind of psychedelic acid metal that they created back then. It was fucking awesome. If you're a fan of that genre, my favorite Black Sabbath album of all time is Masters of Reality. It's a third album. Came out in the 1970s. It fucking rocks. Song called After Forever. My favorite from them. And then the Black Sabbath, the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath. And then that guy was so fucked up, they kicked him out of Black Sabbath. Okay? Kicked him out. You're too fucked up. And then went to hell and back with all sorts of substance abuse, snorting up ants with Motley Crue. Ugh. It's a miracle he lasted this long. And then the idea that he does that reunion show with Black Sabbath, and then 2.5 weeks later, he's dead. You could go to the body of his work as a solo artist, too. Absolutely incredible. That voice is unmistakable. There's only a handful of voices in the industry that you like. The second you hear it, you know it's you know it's that artist. You know. I guess you could say that about anybody who's supremely popular, like Ozzy was. But his voice was just—it's up there with like the recognizability of like Bon Scott from AC/DC. Like, oh, it's fucking Ozzy. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Before that, this all happened since I left. You had Hogan, you had Ozzy, not in that order. You had Theo from the goddamn Cosby Show. He drowned. I don't know him other than Theo. Malcolm Jamal Warner is his name. Theo Huxtable was in some warm location, tropical location. He's in the water, and the next thing you know, Theo's dead. He drowned. They pulled him out, tried to save his life. He's dead. Ozzy's dead. All these people fucking died when I was away. Hulk Hogan is dead. You know who else is dead? Chuck Mangione, goddammit. He was like 83, 84. Some of you don't know Chuck Mangione, but fuck you if you do not know Chuck Mangione, goddammit. Amazing jazz trumpeter. A legend. Somebody, if you're anybody else that died during this week of death, you're forgotten. Bob says Keith Richards absorbed Ozzy's energy like in Highlander. Thank you to Bob. He sent along the image of tech guy holding office bimbo. And tech guy was the Grim Reaper. Office bimbo was Ozzy. I appreciated that. More than one person sent that to me, and thank you. Becca Shea points out that former starlet Connie Francis died. Now, I know that name, and I think she was a brunette, and I think she was quite attractive back in the day. Was she a singer? Okay, she was an actress as well. Singer and actress. Yeah, she was old as hell. And she croaked. That's all you get is that type of recognition on this show. She was born in 1937 or 1938. They're not even sure about when she was born. And she died on July 16th. Rest in peace to all of these legends. The biggest of them all is Chuck Mangione. Let me check to see if my own email came in regarding my video. No, it hasn't. I don't think it went through. I think it was too big of a file. That's too bad. I'll have to share it with you on the Patreon. Anyway, it was a hell of a weekend. Again, this was my weekend because we're still, Pooh Bear wants to read books. She read 5 books. Like legit, she read 5 books. I read some of the Nikki Sixx book. More on that in a second. But, so she's reading books. And then we might make food I might make her a meal. She doesn't make one meal. I insist. I go, I spoil you. I'm making all the food. I will wash every dish. This is shit I like to do. She goes, why do you like this? I go, when I am up here, the shit that I don't like to do at home, but I do like to cook at home. But anything that's a chore that I would do at home, like wash the dishes or do yard work, if I'm doing it up there, it is not a chore. It's fucking great. I don't know why. I have no idea. She's reading books, and I am encountering giant piles of brush and downed trees from that winter storm, that ice storm in the spring. I go through it with a chainsaw and chop it up into manageable bits so I can get this shit into my truck. And then I fill up the truck bed like a hillbilly full of bullshit wood that its only goal is to look like shit, okay? And it doesn't take that long to burn it because everything is very, very small. So it's essentially useless. It just looks like shit and occupies space. But I have committed to cleaning the entire forest. I am the new caretaker of the forest. And across the street from the dirt road is Gary and Barb. Now, my property looks at Gary and Barb's. And they're there looking out the window at fallen trees, and it looks like shit. So I go driving down the road. I see him. I go, hello there, Gary and Barb. Who's that? I go, this is Eric, your neighbor across the street. Can I walk up and say hello? Okay, you may pass. I mean, that's how you got to do it there. I've talked about this before. If you're ever in the area of private property, no, you don't just show up. You don't pull in and say hi. That's how you get shot. You scream from the road. I go and I talk to Gary and Barb. I say, yeah, hey, I'm going to clean that up. I'm on it right now. Began that process. Fill up my truck, burn it. Go back, more. New pole break, back, burn it. Get more, new pole, burn it. Done. That's all I did all weekend long. Cutting up birch trees, splitting the logs, picking up sticks. I even posted a video of me standing in front of a pile of sticks that were burning. That was from one of those monster loads. I don't know why the fuck I enjoy this so much, but that is quite literally all we do. And then I said, Pooh Bear, I'm going to make you some food. She says, what are we making? I said, and she goes, how about ribs? I go, okay, hang right there. Now, I don't come up with these recipes on my own. No. I rip them off the internet, and then whatever they are, I put Slaughter the Turks in front of the recipe name and then put my name on it. So, hence the Eric Zane Show podcast, Slaughter the Turks barbecue spare ribs recipe. Or one I ripped off the internet. I almost don't even need to list this recipe for you. First of all, I couldn't have been more happy because inside of Fear Bunker North trailer, again, this is a 75-year-old trailer. The oven is original. The oven, the stovetop, the refrigerator, all original and still work awesome. You get the spare ribs, and then like a rack is yay big. I cut it into thirds. Brown mustard, you wipe it on there. You, what do you call that salt? That sea salt. You coarse sea salt, and then pepper. That is all. You wrap each one of those portions in tinfoil and put it on a cookie sheet and put it in the oven at 275 degrees. So, again, I've never done this. I've never been good at ribs. But I had the time, so this recipe called for slow and low. 275 degrees in the oven for 2.5 hours. You pull them out of the oven. You cut or peel open that tinfoil. And then you put your whatever type of sauce you like on there. I prefer Sweet Baby Ray's original. I put that Sweet Baby Ray's on there. Generous. You can't even see rib. You can't see rib meat. And by the way, the rib meat looks like shit now with just cooked mustard on it. David says great in a crock pot too. Absolutely. Once you get that sauce on there, you don't recover them up. You just kind of push it down and so that it all kind of works on the tray. You put it back in there at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. It comes out, and that sauce is now the stickiest of the icky. It is so Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue jelly at this point. Everything else is prepared at this point. My rice, my corn, or whatever I'm having with it. All I need to do now is broil. Put another thick layer of Sweet Baby Ray's, broil on high, 2 to 4 minutes, depending on how close your meat is to the actual flame flying out of the broiler. On this old stove oven, you have to open up this thing on the bottom and put it in underneath it and close this ancient drawer, kerchunk. And I only went the 2 minutes because it would have burned them. This is the type of response that I got when Pooh Bear, and all the meat was really pulled up the bone. You know, you could see a ton of exposed rib bone. I let it cool for a bit, let it rest so it doesn't like burn her fucking face off. And then I serve it up for her, and I put it on her little TV tray, and she's in front of the TV, my little Pooh Bear. And I go, just grab that bone and give it a yank. And she barely touches it. Now she just has the bone in her hand. It broke free completely with not a bit of meat on it. And then this big wad of delicious, sweet Baby Ray's rib meat is there. You could eat it like a steak. You could have pulled out all the bones and eaten it like, you know how when you get those McRibs? Looks like a rib, but it's not. It's just kind of like pressed. It's like that, but actual ribs. Dude, I will never, ever, ever make ribs on a grill. As far as I will go is I will do everything I just did except for the broil part and that last 2 minutes on a grill. Oh, my God. Life-changing. All right. So we ate like queen and king. It got to a point where I was on such a roll with the cooking. She didn't want to go out to eat. I don't blame you. I go, honey, I am awesome at this. Branjo said, I was just going to say the McRib thing, and I've seen recipes where they actually use ribs to make McRibs. Well, for example, just like you said, excuse me, if I had just pulled out those ribs, I could have put them on to a sub bun like that, and it would have been fan-fucking-tastic. Some pickles. Oh. Rebecca says ribs in the smoker. Absolutely. As long as it's that slow and low cook, it's really tough to fuck up. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the staff meeting coming up in just a handful of minutes. Stevie says, doesn't McD's use actual ribs? I don't know that. I just know that the food is pressed into a rib-like shape. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a pork product blended with something else and then made to look like a rib, you know? Scott is here, fellow kidney donor. He says, I'm checking in from the country of Switzerland. That is outstanding. How the hell did that happen? Good for you. Enjoy yourself. Go see that. There's a lot of like amazing scenic views you can see in Switzerland. All right. Now, when the show comes back after the staff meeting, we've got today's book club day. All right. We're going to talk about book club, and I'm going to preview what we have. I'm excited about this. The first ever Eric Zane Show podcast, Patreon book club, Big Fraud book club. I think we've settled on a name, but I don't know what it is. But I can't wait to discuss it with you. I have more stories from the vacation we have to get into. The Rangers soccer team was in action. We are updating the Fat-a-thon. It is 4:55 p.m. in Switzerland right now. Okay, I'm going to need some pics, and you can send them to eric@ericzaneshow.com, and I can share them with the audience there, Scott. Thank you to my latest sponsor, Oakland Auto Detail. This makes a great gift. Can you imagine getting a loved one's car and getting it 1,000,000% detailed and cleaned with a ceramic coating on it to protect the paint and take out all the scratches and nicks and bumps and you know what? Eric and Kristen from Oakland Auto Detail, they work on one car a day. That's right. One car a day. So reach out to them at Oakland Auto Detail and get on the schedule. They work a few days in advance. If you want your car to look as good as new, like Diana's Accord, reach out at 616-510-3470. Every car is different and requires, well, I'll just say it, a different set of pricing. It depends on the vehicle. There is not one set price. Just know this. You get the most bang for your buck when it comes to Oakland Auto Detail. Please mention me. This is the after. This is an after pic. Here's a before pic of Diana's vehicle, and this is after. Look what happened. Look how much better that looks. This is the before pic of what those aluminum wheels look like. This is the after. You can eat off them. On the one side is the dull, all kind of scratchy paint, if you will. It says how many car wash scratches were polished out of this paint. I didn't realize that when you get a car wash, you're getting little scratches on the vehicle. Did anybody else know that? I was not aware that that's how it works. That's shitty. I'm embarrassed to show you that mat. That's how the mat looked when they were done with it. The one side is the interior surfaces. I think this is jizz here. And this is how it looked when they were done with it. Another shot of the perfectly clean car. Another shot of the perfectly clean car. Give this as a gift or get it for yourself. Oakland Auto Detail. Be part of the group that gets your car done in Oakland Auto Detail, one a day. That's right, one a day. Please mention me when you reach out to them. They are the best. 616-510-3470. I really want this to take off because this is a trial sponsorship. If nobody bangs on their door or follows them on Facebook, well, after a couple of months, they're going to go away. So I'm hoping to God that somebody gives them a nod. Eric and Kristen. Eric goes way back, and he, in fact, was a listener of my old show back in the day, and we kind of got reacquainted. So I'm very, very happy with the partnership. Go to Oakland Auto Detail on Facebook or call 616-510-3470. I'm going to leave it right there for today, or for this first hour. I've got the staff meeting, and then I'll be back with you. As always, it's good to be back. I'm really enjoying this so far. Every time I'm gone, I like going away, but then when that ends, I'm glad it's done. I'm glad to be getting after doing what I do. So awesome. Thank you. And I will be back with the second half of the show after the staff meeting.